Have you ever wondered what truly lies hidden beneath the surface of a seemingly perfect life? What if a single, unassuming object held the power to shatter everything you thought you knew about your own family? Imagine finding something so unexpected, so deeply buried, that it forces you to question every memory, every smile, every shared moment. What would you do if a discovery like that landed squarely in your lap? Would you dare to open the lid and face the truth, no matter how painful? This isn't just a story. It's a journey into the heart of a family secret, a secret that lay dormant for decades, waiting for the right moment to unravel. It's about the weight of unspoken truths and the unexpected ways they can reshape our understanding of love, loss, and the people we hold dearest. Stay with me until the very end, because this story will undoubtedly touch your soul and make you look at your own life with new eyes. Sarah had always seen her grandmother, Eleanor, as the bedrock of their family. Eleanor was a woman of quiet strength, her hands always busy, her kitchen always filled with the comforting scent of freshly baked cookies. After Eleanor passed away peacefully in her sleep at the age of 92, the task of clearing out her quaint old house fell to Sarah. It was a bittersweet chore, each item a tangible memory, each dust-covered corner holding whispers of a life well lived. Sarah meticulously sorted through old photographs, knitted blankets, and forgotten trinkets, feeling a deep sense of connection to the woman who had shaped so much of her world. The house, small and unassuming, felt larger now, filled with the echo of Eleanor's gentle presence. One afternoon, while sifting through boxes in the attic, tucked away behind a stack of faded photo albums, Sarah's fingers brushed against something hard and rectangular. It was an old, worn shoebox, the kind with a hinged lid, made of sturdy cardboard. It looked ancient, its surface scuffed and discolored with age. Curiously, it wasn't labeled like the other boxes, nor did it seem to contain what one would expect from a shoebox. Its very presence felt out of place, a silent anomaly amidst the organized chaos of family keepsakes. A strange sense of foreboding, a quiet whisper of the unknown, settled over Sarah as she carefully pulled it out from its hiding spot. The box felt heavier than she anticipated, as if filled with something dense, yet it rattled softly when she gently shook it. Her heart began to beat a little faster, a mix of curiosity and an unidentifiable apprehension bubbling within her. She ran her fingers over the smooth, worn cardboard, noticing a small, intricate design etched on one side, almost like a faded signature, though she couldn't make out the letters. It was clear this wasn't just any old box. It was something Eleanor had intentionally kept hidden, separate from everything else. The sunlight streaming through the attic window illuminated dust motes dancing in the air, creating almost an ethereal glow around the mysterious object. Sarah sat down on the dusty floor, the shoebox resting on her lap, its silent weight pressing against her. She hesitated for a moment, her mind racing. What could be inside? Old letters? Jewelry? Financial documents? Or something entirely different? Something that Eleanor had deemed too private for casual discovery. A wave of conflicting emotions washed over her, the desire to respect her grandmother's privacy, juxtaposed with an overwhelming need to understand why this particular box had been so carefully concealed. The silence of the attic amplified her thoughts, making the anticipation almost unbearable. With a deep breath, Sarah slowly, carefully lifted the lid. The hinges creaked softly, a sound that seemed to echo through the quiet house. Inside, nestled amongst layers of tissue paper, was not what she expected. There were no shoes, no trinkets. Instead, a small, worn, leather-bound journal lay nestled beside a handful of dried flowers, their petals brittle with time, and a single, yellowed photograph. The air in the attic seemed to thicken, suddenly charged with unspoken stories. The journal, its cover faded and creased, looked like it had been handled countless times, its pages eager to tell their tale. Sarah gently picked up the photograph first. It was a picture of a young woman, strikingly beautiful, with a cascade of dark, curly hair and eyes that sparkled with life. She looked vaguely familiar, yet Sarah couldn't quite place her. The woman was smiling, a radiant, almost defiant smile, standing in front of a backdrop that looked like a European city she didn't recognize. On the back, in elegant, looping script, was written a single name: Amelia. The name, unknown to Sarah, hung in the air, a phantom limb of her family tree, promising a revelation. Sarah's gaze shifted from the enigmatic photograph to the worn leather journal. Its pages, thin and yellowed, seemed to hum with untold narratives. With trembling fingers, she opened it. The handwriting was elegant, flowing, and distinctly Eleanor's, yet it was a younger Eleanor's voice that emerged from the faded ink. The entries began decades ago, long before Sarah was even born, detailing a life Eleanor had never spoken of, a life filled with choices and secrets that completely contradicted the quiet, steadfast woman Sarah knew. This wasn't just a diary, it was a confessional, a window into a past carefully hidden. The journal revealed a shocking truth. Eleanor had once been deeply in love with another man, a vibrant, passionate artist named Julian, while she was still a young woman. Their romance, blossoming in the tumultuous years after the war, was intense and all-consuming. They had traveled through Europe, lived freely, creating art and memories unbound by societal expectations. This passionate, adventurous Eleanor was a complete stranger to Sarah, a stark contrast to the grandmother who baked apple pies and knitted scarves by the fireplace. The descriptions of their love were raw, fervent, and deeply moving, painting a picture of a soulmate connection. As Sarah read on, the entries took a darker turn. Eleanor became pregnant with Julian's child. The news, though initially bringing immense joy, was quickly overshadowed by the harsh realities of their time. Society's judgment, the lack of financial stability, and Julian's free-spirited, non-committal nature began to weigh heavily on Eleanor. She wrote of desperate nights filled with tears, of the unbearable pressure to conform, and the agonizing realization that she might not be able to provide the stable life her child deserved. The happiness of impending motherhood was slowly being eclipsed by fear and uncertainty, threatening to engulf her entirely. The most heart-wrenching revelation came next. Eleanor, under immense societal and familial pressure, made the agonizing decision to give her child up for adoption. The journal detailed her profound grief, the pain of separation, and the desperate hope that her child would have a better, more secure life. It was a choice born of love, yet it left a gaping wound in her soul that never truly healed. She wrote of the baby's tiny hands, the smell of its skin, and the silent promise she made to remember it every day, even if she could never hold it again. The raw emotion poured from the pages, making Sarah's eyes well up with tears. The journal then briefly mentioned a young woman named Amelia, the same name written on the back of the photograph. Eleanor had kept track of her child from afar, through discreet inquiries and occasional fleeting glimpses. Amelia was her daughter, the child she had given away, now grown into a beautiful, spirited woman. Eleanor's entries about Amelia were filled with a quiet pride, a bittersweet longing, and a profound regret that she could never truly be a part of her life. The distance was a constant ache, a phantom limb of motherhood that never truly faded, a shadow over all her subsequent happiness. The final entries in the journal were decades later, just a few years before Eleanor's passing. They spoke of a quiet peace she had finally found, a reconciliation with her past, and a deep, enduring love for her husband, Sarah's grandfather, a kind and steady man who had never known about this buried secret. Eleanor wrote that, while she cherished her life with him and their children, a part of her heart always remained with Amelia, a silent testament to a love that transcended time and circumstance. The last words were a plea for understanding, a hope that if anyone ever found this box, they would know the truth of her choices. Sarah sat there, surrounded by the echoes of her grandmother's secret life, the journal heavy in her hands. The image of the young, vibrant Eleanor, so different from the serene woman she knew, swirled in her mind. It was as if a curtain had been pulled back, revealing a hidden room in the house of her family history, filled with emotions she never knew existed. The sheer weight of this revelation was staggering, forcing her to reevaluate every family story, every shared memory, every seemingly innocuous comment her grandmother had ever made. The woman she thought she knew was suddenly a tapestry woven with deeper, richer threads. Her mind reeled with questions. Why had Eleanor kept this a secret for so long?
What pain had she carried silently, year after year? And what about Amelia? Was she still alive? Did she know about Eleanor? A strange mix of grief for her grandmother's hidden sorrow and a fierce protectiveness for this unknown aunt she had just discovered began to well up within her. It was a connection born not of shared experiences, but of a shared history, a profound, undeniable link that transcended time and silence. Sarah felt an urgent need to know more, to understand the full scope of this profound narrative. The realization that her grandfather, a man she deeply respected and loved, had lived his entire life beside Eleanor, oblivious to this profound secret, was equally unsettling. Did Eleanor ever feel guilt? Did she ever want to confess? Or was the secret too heavy, too complex to ever be shared, even with the person closest to her? The complexity of human relationships, the layers of identity we present to the world versus the truths we hold deep within, suddenly became strikingly clear to Sarah. She saw her grandmother not just as a figure of comfort, but as a woman who had navigated immense personal storms. If this story has already touched you in some way, please hit the like button now and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Your support helps us bring more meaningful stories to light. Sarah knew she couldn't keep this secret to herself. It was too significant, too impactful to remain buried in an old shoebox. But how would she share it? How would her family react to such a bombshell? Her mother, Eleanor's only known child, would be devastated, perhaps even angry at the revelation of a half-sister. The potential for disruption, for the shattering of long-held family narratives was immense. Sarah felt the burden of this discovery pressing down on her, the weight of responsibility for the truth. It wasn't just a secret anymore. It was a fragile glass that could break. She spent the next few days in a daze, the journal always close by, rereading passages, trying to piece together the fragments of Eleanor's life. The dried flowers, brittle and faded, seemed to whisper tales of a love lost but never forgotten. The photograph of Amelia, with her radiant smile, became a beacon, a compelling reason to seek answers. Sarah realized that this wasn't just about Eleanor's past. It was about the present and potentially the future of their entire family. The ramifications extended far beyond the attic, into the very fabric of their lives. Armed with the journal and the photograph, Sarah decided to approach her mother first. It was going to be an incredibly difficult conversation, one that would undoubtedly bring pain, but also, perhaps, a deeper understanding of Eleanor and the intricate tapestry of their family history. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but the truth, however challenging, had to emerge from the shadows. The silent plea in Eleanor's final journal entry resonated deeply within Sarah, compelling her to act, to honor her grandmother's unspoken wish for her story to finally be heard. The conversation with her mother, Emily, was as difficult as Sarah had anticipated. Emily listened in stunned silence as Sarah recounted the story, holding the journal and photograph like sacred artifacts. Tears streamed down Emily's face, a mixture of shock, confusion, and profound sadness. Her initial reaction was one of disbelief, then a wave of hurt. "How could Mom keep something like this from me?" she whispered, her voice thick with emotion, the betrayal etched on her features. The woman she thought she knew, her own mother, suddenly had an entirely different, hidden dimension, making her feel like a stranger. Sarah patiently explained the context, the societal pressures of Eleanor's time, the young love, the agonizing choice. She emphasized the love that shone through Eleanor's words for both Amelia and for her later family. It wasn't about betrayal, Sarah argued, but about survival and the painful decisions made in a world far less forgiving than their own. She read passages from the journal, letting Eleanor's own voice explain the depth of her struggle, her regret, and her enduring love. Slowly, through the tears, a flicker of understanding began to dawn in Emily's eyes, softening the edges of her initial pain. As Emily processed the revelation, a new emotion emerged, a strange, almost ethereal curiosity about this unknown sister. "Amelia," she repeated the name softly, as if tasting it for the first time. "My sister." The idea of having a sibling she never knew, a person who shared her mother's lineage, began to root in her heart. The initial shock gave way to a burgeoning sense of wonder, a desire to know more about this woman who was an extension of her mother's earliest, most passionate story. The concept of family suddenly broadened, encompassing a previously unknown branch. Driven by this newfound desire, Sarah and Emily embarked on a search for Amelia. They used the limited information from the journal and the photograph, meticulously piecing together clues, delving into historical records, and reaching out to historical societies. It was a long, arduous process, filled with dead ends and moments of despair, yet they persevered, fueled by the hope of connecting with this missing piece of their family puzzle. The search became a joint mission, a way for Emily to connect with her mother's secret and for Sarah to honor her grandmother's legacy. Each small victory, each new piece of information brought them closer to their goal. Months later, after countless hours of searching, they found her, Amelia, now a vibrant woman in her late 60s, living a quiet life in a small town several states away. She was an artist, just like her father, Julian, though she never knew him. When Sarah and Emily cautiously reached out, Amelia was initially hesitant, guarded. She had always known she was adopted, but the details of her birth parents had remained a mystery. The news of her birth mother, Eleanor, and a half-sister she never knew was overwhelming, shaking the foundations of her own identity. The connection was unexpected, a bolt from the blue. Their first meeting was fraught with emotion. Tears flowed freely as Amelia, Emily, and Sarah sat together, sharing stories, piecing together the broken fragments of a past that now suddenly felt whole. Amelia shared her life story, her passions, her own journey of discovery. Emily, in turn, shared anecdotes about Eleanor, painting a picture of the loving mother Amelia had always longed to know. It was a reunion born out of a secret, but it quickly blossomed into a profound connection, a bridge across decades of silence, finally mending a fractured lineage.
The initial meeting blossomed into a genuine and deep connection. Emily and Amelia discovered an uncanny number of similarities between them, from shared mannerisms to a mutual love for gardening and a peculiar fondness for a certain brand of Earl Grey tea. It was as if destiny had simply waited for the opportune moment to intertwine their paths. They talked for hours, days, weeks, filling in the gaps of a lifetime spent apart, laughing and crying as they uncovered the echoes of Eleanor in both their lives. The bond was immediate and powerful, transcending the years of separation. Amelia, too, had carried her own questions and a quiet longing for her birth family. Meeting Emily and Sarah and learning about Eleanor through the journal brought a profound sense of peace and closure she hadn't realized she was missing. The pieces of her own puzzle, the unexplainable artistic inclinations, the quiet contemplative nature, suddenly made sense. She finally understood a deeper part of herself, a connection to a lineage she had only ever imagined. The sense of belonging, of being truly seen and understood, washed over her, a healing balm to old wounds. The entire family gradually embraced Amelia. Sarah's children, who had grown up hearing stories of their grandmother Eleanor, were fascinated by their new great-aunt, the artistic and adventurous side of their family they never knew existed. Family gatherings, once familiar, took on a new vibrancy, enriched by Amelia's presence and the stories she brought. The family tree, once seemingly complete, had now sprouted a beautiful, unexpected new branch, making it richer and more diverse. It was a testament to the enduring power of family, even when forged through unconventional paths. For Emily, the relationship with Amelia became a profound way to understand her mother on a deeper level. The sadness of the secret transformed into an appreciation for Eleanor's strength, her resilience, and the immense love that guided her difficult choices. Emily realized that Eleanor's decision, though painful, was rooted in a profound desire for her child's well-being, a mother's ultimate sacrifice. This new perspective allowed her to forgive, to understand, and to love her mother with an even greater depth, seeing her not just as a parent, but as a complex woman. The shoebox, once a symbol of a hidden past, now stood as a testament to the enduring power of truth and connection. It became a treasured family artifact, a reminder that even the most painful secrets can, in time, lead to unexpected joys and deeper understandings. The journal was read aloud at family gatherings, its pages no longer holding a burden, but a legacy of love, resilience, and the intricate dance of fate. It was a story that needed to be told, and its telling had brought an unforeseen healing to the family. The story of Eleanor, Amelia, Emily, and Sarah became a living narrative, passed down through generations. It taught them all about the complexities of human choices, the silent sacrifices made for love, and the incredible capacity for families to adapt, to heal, and to grow stronger through the embrace of their complete, sometimes surprising history. The mysterious shoebox had not torn the family apart, as one might fear. Instead, it had woven them together in a richer, more profound tapestry of connection.
The discovery of Amelia didn't just expand their family, it fundamentally shifted their understanding of what family truly means. It was no longer solely defined by bloodlines visible on a traditional family tree, but by the deeper threads of connection, empathy, and acceptance. They learned that love could bridge decades of silence, and that forgiveness, both for others and for oneself, was a crucial part of healing and moving forward. The family became a testament to the idea that truth, even when difficult, ultimately sets you free. Sarah, in particular, felt a renewed sense of purpose. Her grandmother's secret, initially a source of shock, transformed into a powerful lesson in resilience and the human capacity for love in the face of adversity. She carried Eleanor's story within her, not as a burden, but as a source of wisdom, a reminder of the hidden depths within every individual. It inspired her to look beyond the surface, to seek out the untold stories, and to practice a deeper level of empathy in all her interactions. The experience shaped her perspective on life in profound ways. The family started a new tradition, gathering every year on Eleanor's birthday, not just to remember her, but to celebrate the unique and intricate family she had helped create. Amelia would bring her art, Emily would share stories, and Sarah would often read excerpts from the journal, each time discovering a new nuance, a deeper layer of meaning in Eleanor's words. It was a day of remembrance, but also a celebration of connection, of newfound kinship, and of the enduring legacy of a woman who, despite her secret, had loved fiercely. The shoebox itself was given a place of honor, no longer hidden in the attic, but displayed in a glass case in the living room, a silent guardian of their expanded history. It was a conversation starter, a tangible representation of a story that brought them closer, a reminder that life often holds unexpected twists and turns, and that the most profound lessons can emerge from the most unlikely places. It symbolized not just a secret revealed, but a family reunited and made stronger through shared understanding. Eleanor's final journal entry, the one expressing a hope for understanding, had been fulfilled beyond her wildest dreams. Her choices, once a source of hidden pain, were now understood, accepted, and had even led to the beautiful reunion of her two daughters. The silence that had shrouded her past was broken, replaced by a symphony of shared laughter, tears, and a deepened familial bond. Her legacy was no longer just about the life she lived, but about the profound connections she indirectly fostered. And so, the story of the mysterious shoebox became a cornerstone of the family's identity. It taught them that true strength lies not in the absence of secrets, but in the courage to face them, to understand them, and to allow them to lead to deeper connections. It was a testament to the intricate, often messy, but ultimately beautiful tapestry of human relationships, woven with threads of love, loss, and the astonishing power of hidden truths. This story, born from a simple shoebox, reminds us that everyone carries a hidden chapter, a silent struggle, or an untold dream. Eleanor's secret wasn't a flaw, it was a testament to her strength, her love, and the difficult choices she made in a world that offered few easy answers. It shows us that true family is about more than just shared blood. It's about shared stories, empathy, and the willingness to open our hearts to the unexpected connections that life brings. We often think we know those closest to us, but this story urges us to look deeper,
to listen with an open heart, and to understand that even the most cherished figures can harbor profound, unseen depths. The real lesson here is about the power of truth and the incredible capacity for healing and connection it can bring. While some secrets can tear families apart, Eleanor's, when finally revealed, ultimately brought her family closer, making them more complete, more understanding, and infinitely richer in love. It teaches us that compassion and forgiveness for ourselves and for others are the true foundations of lasting bonds. What hidden stories might your family hold? Are there unspoken narratives that, if brought to light, could lead to a deeper understanding and connection? Take a moment to reflect on the people in your life, on the lives they lived and the silent battles they might have fought. If this story resonated with you, if it made you think, please give this video a like, comment below with your thoughts on the power of family secrets, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that touch the heart and reveal life's deepest lessons. Your support helps us share these powerful narratives with the world. Thank you for watching, and remember,